What's up everyone, this is Steve from Supermods Tech and I'm here to bring you guys a special video today. I'm actually going to work on an i9 10-core processor PC which I'm building for the Black Resources Network, a special Facebook group that supports Black-owned businesses in our community. So I'm very flattered for them to come and make me a part of their community. So I'm actually going to be building this custom PC for one of the admin's son. And you know, we're going to get started in building this awesome PC. Let's go. Okay guys, so the first thing we need to do is get our motherboard here out. And we're also going to install our RAM, 32 gigs of RAM here. We're going to install this. The RAM could also go in after. It depends on how much space I have. I'll decide if I want to, go further with the RAM now or later. But we'll just have it out the box and ready for now. And we'll go ahead and start by removing this plastic shield here. This protects the pins for the CPU socket. And the next step is to make sure everything is good on this CPU, make sure it's nice and clean, and we're gonna go ahead and install this bad boy. So now, as you know on Intel, there are special notches, so the CPU can only go in one direction, and that direction is like this. So you wanna be very gentle in installing that CPU. And you wanna press down and lock that socket in place. Now our CPU is installed. Our next step is we can install our RAM. You're supposed to install your RAM in opposite slots, not back to back. So we'll go ahead and just do that now. If it poses a threat later, I can go ahead and remove it. It's not a big deal. These are DDR4s and you put them, make sure it's lined up. If it doesn't line up, then it's wrong, all right? And then we're gonna put the second one. Turn it around. You can only put RAM one way, and if it's not lined up properly, then you're putting it in wrong. So that's step number one. We will slide this to the side for now. We will install thermal paste on that as when we're ready to put on our cooling system. So next up we have our power supply. We're going to go ahead and install our power supply because this is what we're going to have to do to run all the wires to our motherboard. So right now we're going to go ahead and get this power supply brick here inside of the PC, and we want to put the fan on the downside so we could cool. Because this has a vent underneath to suck in the air, which is pretty neat. We'll go ahead and get these screws in here for the power supply. Might be these this time. Lost the screwdriver. Oh, it's hiding. So since I have the hard drive bay here, we're going to go ahead and install one of the drives. I'm going to have to do it anyway. Go ahead and get this open. 2 terabyte Barracuda. So most likely this is going to sit in a housing like this. As soon as I figure out how it's going to sit, we'll go ahead and put our screws in. These qualify. All right, so now we have that all set. We'll see which way we need to pass wires as we put it on motherboard. So that's our next step. Get our motherboard seated in here and then we'll start to run wires. Make sure everything is lined up nicely here. Sitting as nice in the slot. So you want to make sure your motherboard is secured. So you want to make sure you put in all the screws. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish putting in our screws here. Make sure all your screws are secured so that your motherboard is secure and it won't be dancing around anywhere. So we'll go ahead and get all these screws in. Very important you do so. All right, I think that is all the screws. Is this one? No, I think that's all the screws for now. So I think we're pretty good with that. Now we could start to wire up all our wires. So we'll pass our wires through and start to plug everything in. Now we have our main power wire that needs to come through this upside. And we have our fan connections that will connect to fans. CPU fan, or CPU fan is going to be our water cooler, and any other fans is just going to be regular fans, and we can attach those after. CPU power cables here. We're going to run this up and around. And we also have a CPU power too, but I don't think this is required on this one. We have our main power here. Let's see if that's gonna, oh, this is coming on this side, so we'll run this around. Plug this bad boy in. I'll run it this way. It plugs in nice and easy. A little hard pushing in, so you want to make sure it's connected. Nice and snug. All right, now our CPU power. See this one? What's this? Our power LED switches, which is our usual. J audio is hooked up. JR3 rainbow, so I'm definitely guessing that's RGB right here. And now all that's left is our power switches and our fans. System fan right there. Pump fans right there. Okay, so pump fan, system fan. I could use both of those. Need to see how and where we're going to run it. So the ideal place would be up here, but the board won't allow me to. So the next ideal place would be is in the front here. So we'll go ahead and switch it on. Power supply is put on. And so far we get lights. So that's a good sign. Okay, we posting. We on to our third light. Last one's gonna be video signal, which we don't have any right now because we did not, as you can see, we're on our last light, but we don't have anything plugged in. So we will not get any video signal as of yet. But give me a second to get an HDMI cable. Let me shut this back down. And we will plug it into our external monitor so you guys could see. All we have to do is install our graphics card now, which is the last step. It is a GeForce GTX 1650 with 4 gigs of RAM, which is not bad for this type of system. Oh, I already missed. All right, there we go. Lock him in place. She's already getting some type of power, which is good. We have to run our other power lines to it as well, which is the main power here to boost it up. That comes from around our power supply. I'll get that going in a second. I just want to tighten these screws down. Let's get our PCIe cable, which is this one. We're going to go ahead and plug this one in right now. This is to power the graphics card. Now we're going to go ahead and switch again. We'll turn the power supply back on, and we will test one more time for post. And there we go. We're definitely going to get some post here on our external monitor, which we're recording for you guys. And there we go. All set to go. Very nice system. I think I'm going to buy this cooling fan for my PC. I like it. It's a nice cooling fan. This Cool Master is nice right here. I think I'm going to get one for mine. Put it in mine. Here we go. Nice and set. That's it. Time to install Windows.